Check, 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 check. All right. All right. So are we? What's up? Look, is there a little bit of bias going on with what's up, man? Thomas the Train, number one in the building. What's up, Bart Martinez? Is it me or is it a little bit biased? I literally just tried to see if I can go live on a particular topic, and it looks like it was like tripping on me. And I said, all right, let me just try to go live in general. And then it seems to work. I appreciate everyone who's coming in the building. Coley and Real Jag and King and Katrina Smith. What's up? Appreciate y'all. What's up, Kat? What's up? What's up? Look, I'm in the trenches. You don't know what this is, well, I can't tell you. But it's just in a hot environment. It's a hot place. It is extremely hot, very, very hot. And I just thought to myself, like, why is it like globally, not just in California, not just in LA, globally, it is like hot, hot, hot. They said the Colorado River, which it's one water source for the Southern California region. I believe the rest of the water comes from the Owens Valley, but they said the Colorado River is like drying up really, really. It's significant changes. I was just talking to my folks, and I know they were saying, it's been a drought for 2 years, at least in this area. I guess up north, though, hasn't been as much of a drought. So I guess that's a good thing. But if there's a drought in one place, or if there's things going on in one part of the world, it affects other places. Where I'm at now in Southern California, this is a desert. And I'm gonna show y'all some examples of what's really going on. It's a desert. Like, if there was no water source here, it would not be as green. You would not have as many people living in Southern California. But I'm honestly thinking a place like this, a lot of the population is just going to shrink in general in the near future because of what's coming. And what is it? 91 degrees today. Very, very hot. Very, very, very hot. Well, I guess it's typical for LA for summertime, but other places, even in Europe, burning up. So it's a heat wave. And I started thinking to myself, what are they talking about? Yep, Cat. Yep, it's what impacts across the country. It's the world. Look, you got to really think about the ramifications of the climate right now. And no one's talking about global warming anymore. They're not talking about global warming at all. They used to talk that junk back in the 90s, and Al Gore and all them other politicians talk about global warming. But when you hear politicians start talking about stuff, really start looking at other stuff. They hustling. They were hustling that global warming stuff because let me speak on it and what I'm talking about in regards to technology and AI and stuff like that. Because I was looking up some things research wise. What did they say? Microsoft. You guys know where Microsoft is? That's Bill Gates, Gates of Hell. Microsoft, big company, mass producer of software, technology, etc. Their emissions, let me say emissions, not admissions, emissions of greenhouse heat from 2020 to now, it has risen 30%. Well, global warming was a scam, but the rising impact of, like, what do you call it? Just what's really going on and why the global warming. Well, let me say it from two points. So they claim that greenhouse gases was what's causing global warming. They said Microsoft, and I'm pointing at Microsoft, 20% or 30% from 2020, their emissions had went up. So it's not saying that. It's saying that basically in 2020 they were at one point they were producing things. Microsoft pretty much produces software and chips and servers, things of that nature, right? So their direct emissions of like greenhouse gases, what they contribute, the heat to the world, the heat that a lot of these companies contribute to the world. That's what they call greenhouse emissions. Emissions. It rose 30%. So it's not just, it's in three categories. It's the direct emissions from like the facilities, the company vehicles, the emissions associated with the electricity that Microsoft purchases, and then also the emissions of the supply chain. That's the servers, the chips, the racks, the software, the material, the data centers. And that's where I'm going to land. Data centers. I guess this report says that Microsoft said in its scope 1 and 2 emissions it had actually fallen 6.3%, but when you're dealing with the data centers, it rose 30%, right? And the attribute for most of the emissions is the increase of construction and additional data centers, manufacturing of the concrete, steel, the semiconductors, servers, racks, all that good stuff. So every company, for the most part, pushes out some type of greenhouse emission, meaning they make the climate a little bit hotter. And politicians were running around saying, "What's up, Carla Turner?" They were saying that cow farts were causing greenhouse gases. Basically, the increase of carbon dioxide. They really were running with that game, talking about some cow farts, for real. That's crazy. But the reality is when you drive your car, even if you're driving electrical, because you got to get that electricity to that battery somehow. And you have a greenhouse footprint. So everybody is taking part of the global warming. And I'm not saying it's a scam, but I'll say they're taking part of global warming when they admit CO2. When you breathe, you give out CO2, and who takes in CO2 is these plants here. This plant here gives out oxygen. We in turn takes oxygen and we give out CO2. So the cycle goes like that. So that's why I was saying about it being a potential scam when they were talking about the global warming. They were really just looking at trying to tax countries, companies, and then they also didn't want the global south to rise. So let's just say if you want to build up a city, you want to develop your country, they can mess around and be like, "Oh, well, it's going to be too much emissions coming from this part of the planet. We're going to stop it." They look at any kind of ways to try to control. That's really what it really boils down to, control. They want to control. So underdeveloped countries will be looked at like crazy, where it's like, "Oh, y'all can't develop because you guys are going to emit more gas. You guys are going to emit more heat." And that's why I say it could potentially be a scam. Those environmentalists, please don't come after me, because that's what I believe. I believe it's rooted in racism. Everything that they put out there when it comes to these rules is rooted in racism. They figure the United States is pretty developed and it's a first world country. We don't want competition. We're not going to allow any other country to develop as fast as we did, or even faster. But you got your little cities like places in Dubai or whatever. They can just develop. They can do what they do. And that's because the Saudis, that's a whole nother conversation. When you start getting into the global politics. But anyway, it is hot. It is extremely hot. It's hot. And it ain't just because global warming. I think it's sun cycles. I don't know if it was this hot in the 60s, 1960, because I wasn't born. My mom was born in, but I mean, she was around then, but the sun go through cycles, right? When the sun um, has a lot of cold spots or dark spots in the sun, there's a time when the sun really doesn't emit as much heat. It's not hella significant, but it is noticeable, and you feel it on the planet Earth. It takes 8 minutes for the sun's heat to get to the planet. So if there's a little tiny spot where there's maybe not a lot of activity on a certain part of the sun, in general, Earth could get cooler. I'm gonna say, do you do things to help counteract this, like turn off Wi-Fi at night? No, I don't. I keep it a buck, but I'm gonna tell you what. As I'm getting older, I am pulling away from just a lot of things within the system. So I will not be using a lot of electricity as I'm moving on because I'm just gonna get more closer to nature. What's up, Jag? Jag's in the building. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you. Yeah, yeah,
Are
I
we
hear you.
echo free?
Echo free.
Awesome.
We echo free. We sucker free. We sugar free. Are you hot where you at, or everything's cool?
I mean, I'm hot when I go outside.
Yeah, it was hella hot this weekend, man.
It was.
But everywhere, everyone's talking about the heat, and I was just tying in technology. So I was explaining to everyone about Microsoft's greenhouse emissions. I'm sorry, I keep saying admissions. It sounds like I'm saying emissions, but I'm saying emissions, meaning what they put out. So every company, for the most part, if they're not, you know, producing trees and oxygen, you're likely producing carbon dioxide waste. And it got me thinking about the data centers,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Data centers produce so much heat, it uses so much electricity, and really ever since 2018 and right now, especially right now, it's been nothing but like AI, data center construction. The company I used to work for, they pretty much they used to have all their computers housed in one spot for CGI. They took everything over to a data center. So it just got me thinking about, it's really hot. No one's talking about global warming. But I still say it's a scam to a degree because it's rooted in racism, because they don't want underdeveloped countries to really like develop themselves. But that's a whole nother conversation. And now we got the AI, the data center conundrum, where
Yeah.
there's data centers popping up everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And those data centers produce a lot of heat, and no one's talking about that. It's just, oh, you use the AI for your creativity. Use the AI to be your assistant for your job. Companies, why don't y'all hire this data center slash AI to do X, Y, and Z tasks, and you don't have to hire nobody?
That part. I don't think any of us are really acknowledging the fact that we are accomplices in our own demise.
You say we are what?
Accomplices
Yeah,
in our own
yeah,
demise. We are literally feeding and helping sustain and maintain the construct that's trying to take us out.
yeah, yeah. We're
So
we're willing
wild.
participants in our own demise, like you said. Yeah.
It's crazy. But please go ahead. I'm here. I'm
Oh no,
just
no.
listening.
I had a question for you because
Sure.
I just said it to myself. I said, you know what? Being number one responsible and understanding of like where this system is going, where this
Mm-hmm.
planet is going, it'd probably be best for me to try not to waste as much, use as much. Because as I get older, I'm like, I don't need more things. I really don't. I don't need a whole lot of stuff. And I don't need a whole lot of technology either. I really don't. If I had it my way, which I'm working towards that, it would just be, off grid, just growing my own food. I think a lot of us need to be in that mindset because we latch on to the technologies, the AIs or whatever we're using, and it's destroying the planet low key, not as fast, but it is like we just got this rise in temperatures everywhere out of nowhere, and people are like kind of like I said, I'm not saying it's AI or greenhouse effect or global warming. And I'm not even saying I'm giving it more to the sun. I was getting into the science of how the sun works, and everyone knows how far the sun is, 93 million miles away, and it takes, the speed of light is 186,000 uh, miles per second or something like that, right? So it takes 8 minutes for the heat. We get the light quick, but it takes 8 minutes for the heat to get here from the sun. There's a thing called sunspots, solar spots. I did the research on like melanin and the sun and how something was going on with the sun cycle back in the 60s, the 50s and 60s. That's why
Mm-hmm.
in America we had all those revolutions and riots and people raising up and waking up, and you know what I'm saying? But that's something that's some metaphysics stuff. I can't like prove it because I was saying I wasn't born in the 1960s. My mom was here, but if you look at history during the 60s, there was a lot going on with, especially within this country, as far as revolutions.
Yeah.
And I'm going to juxtapose and say it's going to be this the it's right now. Maybe there is something going on a sun cycle, and we're just not aware of it because a lot of us are not going outside like that. We're in house because of the AI, the computers, and I call it the Obama effect because we were talking this weekend about the presidencies. We went from Clinton to Bush, baby Bush, to Obama,
Mm-hmm.
and the backlash from the Obama was who we got now, Trump. But that's a whole nother topic. That's why I was like, I really don't care about politics like that, but I see what they do. When I say the Obama effect, I mean, and people may disagree, but as soon as Obama was elected, Black America was like, oh my God, we made it.
Yeah.
And number one, he wasn't even one of us. When we really want to talk about it, he wasn't even really one of us. But we collectively, oh, we made it.
Yeah, but his
So,
wife was from the south side of Chicago.
okay. All right.
That was the pass.
I mean, but what I'm saying about the Obama effect is the technology that they're pushing and they're putting in front of us is the distraction or the oh we made it or everything is good
Yeah.
when in reality things are literally heating up. I think Dr. Joyce, no, Dr. Joy DeGruy said, she said an analogy, I believe it was in Hidden Colors 4 or 5, about frog soup. Y'all should go look that up. But we basically are in that conundrum. A frog, you can put a pot of water on a stove and put a frog in there. Frogs are reptiles or amphibians, I'm sorry. So they're cold-blooded. And they're just going to adjust to the temperature around them. You turn that heat up a little bit, he's going to still be swimming. You can
Yep.
you can start turning it up, and he's still going to be swimming, but it's hot. It's hot. and he'll be swimming until he boils to death.
Yeah.
That's the analogy that they have the people in right now. We're not realizing we're in that frog soup. All you got to do is tap the side of the pot to alert the frog, and the frog would have jumped out. So I guess I'm trying to tap the side of the pot. We just got to stop using as much technology, AI, as just be conscientious of that. Like if you are conscientious about what you eat, because a lot of us don't eat pork or beef, or stop doing so much sugar. Be conscientious of that. Like I've already was doing it just by digitally pulling back, not using as much programs that I used to use on computers. I'm pulling away from and what they did with that is this: they tricked us and they put a lot of extensions on these web browsers, and then they, oh, don't worry about your password. We'll remember your password when you got a certain web browser, and it stores all that stuff. So you may be not using certain applications, but you're still on the net, and you still are tied to the technology because of your computer. Basically, I'm just saying detox, digital detox. Why are you talking with towel on your head? Because your mama gave it to me, fool.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I have to do this when I'm done with it. I have to. Oh no, I actually wipe her mouth because
You
she
know
be getting
what?
busy.
Can you leave people's mothers alone and stop threatening?
When somebody come in here always talking, I'm gonna talk about their mama. You already know it. What you say
You
about my
realize
mama?
you have had some kind of inappropriate engagement with half
With
of the internet's
everybody, every
mothers.
troll's mama on here. Every troll mama then gave me their social security check.
That's killing the exclusivity. I'm just saying.
It's killing the exclusivity of what?
I'm
Thanks,
just
Cat.
saying.
Cat timed them out.
I didn't even see it. So what does
But
that tell
anyway,
you? That it didn't come up for me.
oh, so you already blocked them. That's what it meant. Yep. Yeah, digital detox. That's basically what I'm saying. Like we should all practice some type of digital detox, or just kind of fasting from the
They're
digital
making it very
space.
hard to do because I'm looking, there's a lot of jobs now that are all AI driven.
Yeah, yeah.
AI
That's what I wanted to
driven,
get
AI
into.
driven.
Yeah,
You know, I think like when I'm listening to what you're saying and I hear you being politically safe with the
yeah,
whole. I'm not saying that it's the greenhouse effect, and I'm not saying that it's this, and I'm not saying that it's that, and I'm not blaming this or I'm not blaming that. And then talking about the sun and the fact that for the past year and a half, we have probably had the most repetitions of solar flares that we've had in decades.
yeah,
Because a lot of people aren't talking about the fact that we've been experiencing a ton of solar flares over the course of the past 18 months.
yeah,
And if people do not understand when solar flares happen, it is inevitably going to change the temperature here on Earth.
yep,
Because it's basically like the sun is having contractions. And when the sun has a contraction, it burps up hellfire and
yeah,
it comes here.
yeah,
So when you're looking at the sun kicking off this extra heat that we're not used to getting, and then the depletion of water on the planet, whether it be from just things getting hotter or from technology depleting our resources and also making it hotter at the same time. I mean, the truth is all things could be working together.
yep.
If I'm making any sense, I could be talking crazy.
No, 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 no. You're making sense, and that's why I was talking about how the Colorado River is lower than it's extremely low right now.
Yeah.
Uh, the company that I used to work for, they relocated their data center because they have a government data center in Vegas, and that's right next to the Colorado River.
Mm-hmm.
And You need and look, Vegas is hot. I think Vegas right now is probably like 100 or something. I know Phoenix is damn near 120. It's
Well,
hot.
just in that little line there, anything that's like circulating around the Mojave Desert, if I'm correct, it gets up to 118. For crying out loud, when we were in Vegas a couple of years ago,
Hmm.
we remember days getting into the cars 122 degrees.
Easily. Yeah.
And Phoenix, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. So it's like, thank God for SoCal right now.
It's only
But
90.
yeah, that's cooler
And
than.
I can do 90 versus, yeah. But
So yeah,
you need all these resources to cool the data centers because that's what I'm talking about. Data centers and
yeah,
in a climate like Vegas, because the main data center they have, well, I would say the main hub is downtown LA. There's a building, I think that One Wilshire. If you ever look downtown LA, there's a building that's white, One Wilshire. Most of the technology, the telecom stuff comes out of there. And when I worked at AT&T, there was um, a building. It used to be Pac Bell. I think AT&T runs it now, and they had a lot of data stuff coming out of there. And you would think it's people in there, but it's mainly just computers. And there's so much heat coming off of that, and you got to cool that place down. It's no joke. So you can imagine it's hot now. And you need electricity to cool it because you're going to use either AC, the HVAC stuff, the generators, water. But a place like Nevada, and they got data centers there, and it's already hot. All that water. You need water. You need something to cool
yeah.
it off.
Well, you need something to cool it off. And people, let's just be honest. I think people are just so consumed with data consumption that no one's paying attention to what's really going on. Like there's a ton of AI jobs. Like I've just been looking because I've been hearing like ever since, sitting down with some people and talking to some people just about what life is looking like for them now. The job market looking so terribly like it's crazy. I was sitting there listening to this video and this guy was talking about how he had to quit because he was a cameraman for DDG, and DDG is making all of this money and only paying him $3,000 a month.
Wow. You
And
can't
he was
survive off
like,
that.
and he was like, he had to quit, and Streamer University, it was just too much. And then DDG starts complaining like, man, I make sure you ate good and I took care of everything and you got to go here and you got to be there and you think you gonna be getting paid all of this money and whoop de woo. And then he was like, Daryl, because I guess that's DDG's name. He was like, Daryl is broke, but the company is doing well. Daryl is broke, and you're not gonna be making the same kind of money I'm making. And he's talking about if I need you to come and film me at 3 a.m. in the morning, then you just gotta get up. And it's like $3,000 a month, even if you're paying for all of the, that has absolutely nothing to do with his life when he's not working with you. And if he has a family, if he has any kind of real responsibilities, you're gonna need another job.
Yeah.
In this climate, I can't even remember. I think people might have been able, like you barely be able to survive off of $3,000 a month in the late 90s, early 2000s. Barely. A
Yeah.
thousand
Early
dollars a week?
2000s. Early 2000s.
Barely.
I was working for Haim Saban, and I was making $300 a week in a freaking mailroom.
300 a week?
I mean, my rent was like five something. So I mean, I was scratching and surviving hard times.
Yeah, but that life that you were living
It was
then,
just me.
you
So
probably. Yeah, I mean, it was just you. So, but even
I would pay
still,
like
at the same
maybe
time,
250 to $400 a month on groceries a month.
yeah, for just yourself, absolutely. Like you could do that back then, but that now
It's not
would
possible.
translate to like $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Like maybe actually
Well,
that $3,000 a month the DDG is paying would probably be what you were making, equivalent to what you were making back then.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, like $800 a week now, because that's what, right, yeah, about 750 per week. That's what DGG is paying. That's mm-mm, can't make it off that.
That's insane. That's insane. But
To come
also cooking
outside,
film and
eh, eh, to come outside, you're spending $100. Just even if you ain't doing nothing.
yeah, it's
You go to the fast food restaurant by yourself, you're paying $25. It used to be, five, they have the $5 foot long. You paying $25 just for, by yourself.
but think about it, with people kicking out that kind of cash, like you're not finding jobs that are advertising paying 25 and $30 an hour anymore.
Now
Most of these jobs are advertising at max $20 an hour, $15 an hour.
it's between 15 and
Which
18.
for real,
That's
for
what they're
real,
paying.
which for real, in this financial climate is that's minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's minimum wage. So you take that and you look at that, and then you see all of these ads for, I think Netflix, they're like advertising weekend jobs where you can make like 450 to 800 and some odd dollars on the weekend doing AI programming for them or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of this stuff. So it's like, as times get harder, a lot of people are going to be forced to do these AI positions, to do
Yeah.
these AI jobs,
Yeah.
which means what? They're going to need more data centers. They're going to need more of this, more like
And look,
they're trying to.
here's the here's the,
Mhm.
the 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 kicker for what you just said. AI jobs, for the most part, you're on your computer or whatever. You're gonna be inside. You're gonna be at your house. You're gonna be paying for electricity, coolant. You're gonna just give it right back to the system, depending on where you're at.
Yep.
So you technically, if they're paying you
Yep.
15 an hour, you're only really making five. Because then what's gonna happen is the price of water and electricity is gonna go up. Because everyone will
There are
be,
people
you
that are
know,
already complaining that no, but there are people that are already complaining on the East Coast about their energy bills are now
yeah,
like doubling.
yeah,
And not because they're using more, they're using less. But the data centers in their area are taking more from the grid. So they're just charging everybody more.
they they charge per kilowatt hour, and they've increased it because I forget. I don't even look at the bill like that no more. But the kilowatt hours, that's what they're charging. Like it probably was 16 cent or something. Now it's like 40 cent, something crazy. Yeah. So that's why
I
I'm
don't think,
encouraging people. No, go ahead.
yeah. No, go, please. You were saying.
No, but that's why I'm just throwing it out there, trying to be a forward thinker, and that's why I'm encouraging people to just do like digital uh detoxing, fasting. And it may not sound, I might sound out of this world right now, but I'm thinking about people like, shout out to brother Riza Islam. He from Compton, Muslim brother, right? And he got
Mm-hmm.
banned off all kind of social medias because he was talking early on the COVID, like the Johnson and Johnson shot, all that. He was like, "Don't do it." Well, and they were like, "What are you talking about? Ban him, ban him." And now Fauci's under hot water. He just went and testified, and well, he didn't. He testified and testified because he just said, "I plead the fifth," and he whatever 111 times. So, and he was the
He's
main one.
refusing. He's refusing to admit that he literally went along with mandates that encourage people to.
Yeah. So I'm just
How do we
saying,
say it?
go ahead.
No, but how do we say it to
Just
not
say
put the
it.
channel in any jeopardy?
Well, you know what they know what you're saying. They know what you're saying. It it's like that though. Like it may not be popular to say certain things right now, or but then I'm telling you, people gonna look back 5 years. Like the more you buy into the AI, buy into the system, and you're gonna pay. I told everybody, karma basically represents it means life work, and not to get off subject, but there's a certain person who, let's just say, threw a wrench in the Chingy's career. And I mean, the person did apologize, but it was too late. And because they lied and said they, had some relations with Chingy when that never happened. So his career just, and this person is looking at
Well, that
life.
was at a time. No, that was at a time though when they were still using that to vilify people. If it had happened now, then it would be okay, which is really strange because this is the same person who was in a relationship with Darius
Uh
McCrary
huh.
from
Yeah.
Family
Yeah.
Matters.
Yeah.
What did it hurt him?
Well, I see. That's a whole nother look. Think. What about remember Genuine? Genuine caught flack for, I guess, a transmission tried to kiss him or said, "Kiss me," because I'm a woman, and he's like, "No," and he caught flack, and that was more recent.
Like, I'm just thinking about that whole situation with Chingy because Chingy had a sign on his back. He had a sign on his back. Somebody wanted Chingy out of the way. You remember I was telling you about the whole thing with Chingy and Tiffany Haddish. And now Tiffany
Yeah.
Haddish was talking about she had a relationship with him and he said, oh, he don't remember ever doing anything with her. And they were drinking and he woke up and couldn't tell nobody what happened and whoop de woo. And then the next thing you know, here comes this Sydney Star person. And
Yeah.
they had it out for him. For whatever reason, they had it out for him. But
I mean,
what's crazy is, mhm.
no, go ahead. What's crazy?
No, what's crazy is that this person, like when I saw that picture of this person with Nicki Minaj, I'm like, is there a pervert that she doesn't approve of?
Oh, they were going in on that. Yeah. And see,
Is
the
there like a
well,
deviant that's not like on her approved list of no, but back to just talking about pictures. It was a picture that lined up Chingy, and it just got me to thinking, like people know about this story, they know what happened. Sydney Starr came back and admitted that said all of this and did all of this just to get on, just to be famous, just for
mm-hmm.
the clout, didn't care what it did to this person's career or this person's reputation. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how many people have taken pictures with me, created all of these very elaborate stories? And this should let people know, like, this is how this works.
Yeah.
This is how easy it is to trick the public into going along with a narrative. How many times is this happening? With how many people is this happening? Like we
And
got to
and
do better.
the funny thing is not to bring it back full circle. I might as well bring it back full circle. So I'm gonna get off in a second.
Yeah.
AI. I can take a picture and run it through some AI algorithm and create all kind of crazy stuff. So someone can have a picture of you and They can AI it and says
Do
you
whatever they
robbed
want to
the
do.
AMPN.
Do whatever they want to do.
So these are the times
It's
that we're
just
in right now.
wild.
Yeah.
You want to know what else is funny? Nancy Grace is interviewing Janetta Brantley, and now they're trying to double back on, oh no, it's accurate. What she did was accurate. They're just trying to vilify her. What she did was
Oh,
real.
really?
Oh yeah, they're doubling back now.
So she's being interviewed by Nancy Grace.
Yep.
That's interesting. Interesting.
I know. I know.
Yeah, y'all hit the like button. I'm gonna get up out of here. I gotta actually handle some BI. I'm supposed to. Yeah, I gotta actually. So I'll be on here another 2 minutes. I don't know, Jag. If you're gonna go live though, I'm tuning in for sure. Wow. Janetta, they look. They made it seem as if they were gonna come after everybody that used that audio.
Mm-hmm.
But it does make sense. Maybe they vilified and threw that out there to scare that. See, I got words for that. That's something different. I wasn't even prepared for that. But wow,
You know who the woman was?
who's that?
That because remember they came after Janetta and they exposed her criminal background. The woman
Yeah,
who did it,
who?
Sally Fields,
What?
the Sally Fields girl, the Sally Fields weirdo from the same one that interviewed Jeff Metcalf with the whole watermelon felon thing when he started going crazy on black
Oh,
people. It was the same person that interviewed Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, is the same person that went and tracked down Janetta Brantley's criminal record and posted it up and put it up.
wow.
What are
Well,
the
look.
coincidences? What
No, let me get going because
the
I gotta.
coincidence in that? Yeah, we'll
Now,
talk about
now I was
the.
saying,
Like I
what
said,
I'm gonna
before
do
I
is,
go live, there's some things that I want to look at.
yeah, okay, no, do that. What I was gonna say is, I'm probably gonna come back on this topic because I'm not saying that AI is the primary reason why the world is hot. I'm saying there's a lot, especially with the electricity demand. I didn't want to get too far off the topic. And we're burning fossil fuels. I'm right here next to a freeway. It's just people just driving, no matter what. Price of gas is going up. Human produced greenhouse gases, that might be a factor. But I'm gonna go a little deeper. I was just trying to let me talk about this. I know I'm mainly talking about other stuff set in the West, but this is, it's in relation to LA because number one, LA is a car city, and then
Big
I'm
car
also
city.
touching up on AI. So I'll double back on this. Maybe we'll see. I just wanted to throw it out there to see if people would be interested in it. But I definitely see. I'm not trying to look at the algorithm of what's trending and then jump on that. I'm trying to create other topics like you do. Just come different. You know. So, but
No,
yeah,
but
let
this
me
is an important conversation.
yeah.
It's an important conversation because the truth is the world is getting hotter and there has to be reasons as to why.
Yeah, all I'll say is plant more trees and just reduce the digital, just reduce the digital. That's what I can say. Let me get back to y'all. If you
Hmm,
if you go live, Jag, you already know where I'm at. But let me handle this. I'll be back.
got it.